If everyone can please start getting cards up.
UPA sent one right away.
Good morning, Captain.
Good morning, computer.
Captain,
Yes.
I have received an encoded transmission from UPA Command. A transfer notice.
Transfer.
UPA Command has been given custody of an Atlas prisoner that will be transferred to the ship to work as a science officer.
An Atlas prisoner. Boy. What did they do?
Unknown. UPA did not list this information in their message.
Very well. So what are we, a reformatory vessel now?
I'm certain the UPA sees that this individual will be useful to our mission.
We'll see. Formally request denying your request for science officer powers to be. Well.
Security officer DeLong is outside of your door.
Very well. Denied. Well, I was trying to be nice with what I was doing. Giving them direct court summons so that they could decide it there, but if that's the case, then I'm going to enact Articles 15. Well within my rights still.
Morning.
Morning, Archer. First night.
Officer DeLon?
As much as someone can do.
What can I do for you?
Good morning, Captain.
Good morning.
I have some information that have been given to me that I wish to tell you and Commander Kanch.
Very well.
I would prefer it to be in a private situation.
Is he in the security room?
I have not seen him. I came here at first thing.
I see. Very well, let's go find him then.
I'm gonna get my coffee.
I should probably get the beverage.
Yeah, I have realized I have forgotten to adjust everyone's audio.
Hmm.
Right, shall we?
After you. After you.
Assume he's on his way for breakfast.
One can assume.
Ah, speaking of.
Delon, I got your message.
Yes,
Assuming you want to
I
get
will-
right to business.
Yes, I would prefer to get it out in the open as fast as possible.
Understood. Morning to you, Captain.
Good morning, Officer Gunch. Are we all ready? Very well.
Breakfast can wait.
Good morning, Sid.
Morning.
It starts right away for me now.
Wish you best of luck, Captain.
This is information told to me during the day of the incident in Ceres and Archer's room. However, at the end of the day, I tried to get your attention, Commander Crunch, but well, things happened. And the following few days, being hectic, and with you out, Captain, especially after the attack, it's completely slipped my mind. Archer came to me, questioning if we knew about Ceres surveillance. Apparently, he has gotten access to Ceres terminal, and it has involved detailed reports of every crew member, including Archer's own sleeping patterns, and private messages sent from said terminal to Captain Narsak. This is the information I wish to conceal. Yesterday, I was reminded it yesterday as Archer questioned me about why Siri is still on the ship. I said it is obviously your choice if they are to be kept or if something has to be done to this. But it reminded me I had forgotten to inform you of this. I'm deeply sorry for this.
I see.
That is incredibly concerning. And you are certain that Archer isn't simply telling fibs? Did you see the terminal with your own eyes?
No,
this
this-
is all his, what he has said.
It was actually an order from me. I told Archer to scan it to look to see if there was any rhyme or reason for Siri doing what they did at the time.
I see. Simply thought to cover that ground, but if we are certain that it is true, question then stands is how do we deal with it?
I'm unaware right
According to
now.
Archer, her actions was because she was given a message that she had failed her mission.
I see. I
As
remember
much as I remember us having that idea, that she was punishing herself.
That being said, they've given Siri explicit orders not to contact or ignore any contact from Narsak right now. If we give them their terminals back, I suggest we have Archer plant spyware on it to make sure that nothing gets sent, and anything that does get sent to the AI first. Then it deletes it before it gets sent out to Narsak. I think this is a good idea. It keeps things under monitor, and it also allows us to keep that facade of trust with our security officers. I genuinely do think that Siri was only acting on orders, especially with Narsak's conditioning and treatment of them. Can't completely fault them. Needless
Given
to
their
say,
nature, I suppose that's fair.
Either way, needless to say, this is troubling and incriminating, so we'll give them a chance. If they don't send anything, then there's nothing to worry about and we can remove the spyware without issue.
Suppose a simple test like that is not such a bad move.
Good.
But if she does betray that, we should most certainly detain her
Agreed.
and likely remove her from the ship.
Speaking on detainment, I have a question for you. And I'm sure Argyle will want to ask you it as well. How is your investigation going on our one suspect? And Delon,
I've
you're
come up
good
with
to hear
little.
this as well.
I've come up with little, unfortunately. I haven't really heard or really seen anything to add to our current list of suspicions.
My next
No new evidence has really bubbled up for me.
Understood. My next question would be, do you think they're clear enough to pass over suspicion on them? Or are you still wanting to continue the investigation?
I think it is worth continuing to look into it. Though with the current evidence that we have, I can't say anything conclusively. So it's hard to say if it's really a good idea to just simply drop it.
Well, I defer this judgment to you. Right now, they are resting up. They worked the night shift as well as the day shift yesterday. So, nothing needs to be done about it now. But, Science Officer Palas screamed at me over the fact that it had not been done yet. So, right now, the way I see things, is if Palas wants this done and cleared immediately, we'll drag him in kicking and screaming for interrogation. We'll discuss this further with Archer and the rest of security later. But, if we still think that we need to do the investigation, then that's an option. But, Palas wants it done immediately.
Well, if Palas is so gung-ho on having it done now, then a brute force interrogation isn't the worst idea. No, for sure.
I
Really
leave.
Squeeze it out of them.
I trust you to make the final call.
Indeed. I will handle it personally.
Yes.
But, as it stands, I think clearing them for their promotion is fine. Their clearance as a second science officer shouldn't pose any serious security threats, even if they do have ill intent.
My only concern with such things is supplies. They have the power to approve and push forward requisitions for supplies. Now, granted, it still has to go through myself and Palas, but if Palas is this dead set on approving them, then my concerns are still there on them. Regardless, we'll figure out what to do when the time comes.
Indeed.
If I may,
Of course.
speaking of the situation of Captain Narsek, if a situation comes that there is to be hostility towards them, I believe I should be completely open. Officer Ganj, as you know, I asked you to double check my public file on our records. And as you yourself noted, it is suspiciously clean. Any of my mistakes in my time in the fleet of Captain Narsek has been scrubbed. And according to it, I have left the fleet of my own volition. And I did not say this part to you. I decided to keep this as I believe that it might have been just their decision to keep it off the records. But I believe if we are to continue, I should be direct. The
Speak
reason
freely.
why I left the fleet of Captain Narsek
Excuse me.
was due to a mistake on a mission. I had not followed orders, for I had deemed them suicidal for my squad. However, due to this decision, we had not done our objectives by the time we should have, causing deaths of numerous others. I was court-martialed and dishonorably disciplined and let go. That is the major mark on my record that is now missing. I have sent a request for my own public record. At this point it has come to me. None of this is in there.
I can actually answer that. I recently just pushed for a court-martial on one of our officers. Disrespect of an officer of a higher grade, etc., etc. My response from the Admiralty, you'll see a highlighted section, and only that section is present to you. My response from the Admiralty was they intentionally kept records from us to inspire a communication amongst the crew. Find out one-on-one what the stories are. Now, as much as I am for such a thing, and getting to know your crewmates, I also don't think that it should be kept and withheld from the officers on board who they're working with. That way they can better acclimatize and get things situated for them.
Not to mention, identify any potential security threats they may pose.
Security threats, health risks to themselves, crew. It's...
Seems a rather...
There's not even a
When such
vaccination
things
record.
are found out by accident. Finding out about something that nobody else knows can cause schisms between people if they do not agree with those disagreements.
Exactly. But the UPA...
disagreements, and then there's finding out that someone donating blood has radioactive blood. That would have been
Exactly.
nice to know.
Well, I'm not sure if they went that in-depth in their records. Plus, you have to remember that Tashir is still in the documentation process for criminal reform, which we'll be receiving an Atlas prisoner as a transfer to our ship. No details as of yet as to what they did, but the UPA thinks that they will be good for our assignment. I sure as shit hope that they're correct about that, because right now, the only people giving us support, and as much as it pains me to say it, are corporations such as Atlas and Oracle. Thus far, they're some of the most competent people on the ship, are our corporation associates. That's excluding a good majority of engineering and security, seeing as most of us have either no affiliation with corporations or a disdain. But, nonetheless, I've also been informing the Vlachen military about this as well. So, at least something will be done. An investigation will be launched on the Alpha class that was here, aside from myself. And more than likely a team of Templars will be dispersed to hunt them down. Argyle's also informed me that they sent the same thing to Oracle, and more than likely there will be a bump-in between the two factions. Hopefully they can get along well enough to find the bigger problem and eliminate it. But either way, as I said, surprisingly, our corporations are our most competent individuals thus far.
As unfortunate as it is, it kind of has proved true.
It pains me to say it every time.
Does not mean we might
I can
find
say-
more competent helpers, perhaps.
It's difficult to say, and as much as I am optimistic on the fact, the UPA has seemed to be proving extra difficult in these times. If they wish for this mission to succeed, we should know at least the general gist of our people. Not knowing DeLon's service record means that we could have put him at a higher risk or a disadvantageous position to his skill sets. You're a former leader. We need that information and that skill set. You might have... Tell me, what was the order that you thought was suicidal?
Our mission was, as the ground forces sent after the initials and during initial bombardments, my squad was to attack an artillery position. As far as the information we were given, or the lack of it, a full charge would have led us through numerous enemy positions that would have cost large amount of my squad's mates' men. I decided to take a longer route to avoid the more heavily fortified positions. What I did not know was that other squads had missions to disable those positions to give us the opening to get to those artillery positions. We would have then disabled the artillery, which would have then opened up the path for the main assault. But due to my decision to take the longer path, the main assault was heavily crippled by the artillery that we did not get stopped.
I see. Gunch, as a tactician, would you not have informed your squads about each other's duties and cohesion?
Indeed. It seems to me that this mistake of yours wasn't really your fault, more the fault of your commanding officers not giving information to you that might have been vital to know. Hard for two separate squads to work in tandem when they don't know what each other are doing.
Or that
You
they're
may as
even
well.
there.
Exactly. That's how friendly fire happens.
As much as I agree in parts. At the end of the day, it's our duty as soldiers to follow orders and to trust that our higher-ups have our best intentions. They are the ones who look at the bigger pictures. I can understand wishing for the people to be focused and not think more. To think that a squad is failing and deciding to go aid them knowing that they're there. But have them focused on the task at hand that the big picture requires. I did not defend myself during my court-martialing. I believe I had made a mistake and I deserved the punishment I was given. This is the reason when you mentioned possibly putting me in high position that I told you to reconsider, Commander Gunch. If you still believe, though, that I should be given a large position, and both me and Argyle agree that if you continue on your current path, pardon my language, you will need a second in command for the times when you are incapacitated.
Yes, with every remaining sore in my body and with my back killing me more than ever, I think I am in need of a second more than ever.
Well,
Delon, you are,
if I may, Gunch.
if I may. You are more than competent from what I've seen you do. Your record notwithstanding. And I take it you've learned your lesson about, well, the bigger picture, as it were. Commanders often paint one and need every piece to move asynchronously. Sure, they could have communicated better, but still. A soldier's made to follow orders, not act on their own volition unless it's absolutely necessary. But as a leader, now you're a squad leader, not a commander of armies exactly.
I'll let you do the pleasantries.
But you have a sense for the bigger picture, no?
I will follow the orders given. I do not question anymore. I believe and I trust, especially after the words you have given, Captain, over the course of our time. You have our mission in mind and all of our security in mind. I will keep my loyalty.
They laugh.
possible.
Well, in that case, I will take a day or two to fully consider, but
now, is that it?
I do think you'd make a very well
back
put
again.
second in command.
Sure.
I do believe someone's knocking at the door, Captain.
I heard. I was going to ignore it until we were
Yes,
complete.
but this is much more fun.
I would recommend Officer Cross if it wasn't for
Hmm.
the fact that he has
Yes.
valid concerns of his specialty
Oh,
not
good morning,
being
Captain.
Good morning.
a higher position.
What can I do for you?
Indeed, and he doesn't exactly seem interested in it.
We were just
Himself.
discussing our potential little problem
But
today.
who's to say?
Which potential little problem? There's a bunch of them.
Well, the one that has to do with a mega corporation visiting us.
Oh, I have more to add to that. Seeing as most of security's already here, why don't you care to join us?
There's more.
Oh yes,
There's
I
always
received the
more,
report
Argyle.
from the UPA. First thing in the morning. I already informed Gunch about Palas's demand of clearing Dallas. I'm leaving the final call up to him. But, as I said to these two already, we also received a note from UPA High Command that we'll be receiving a new crewman. I'm suspecting that's what Atlas is delivering. This crewman is a former Atlas prisoner. When I inquired as to why, or what they did to become imprisoned, I was not given specifications. I hate Galacticum. I was not given those clearances. Furthermore, the UPA clarified as to why the dossiers that I had, and the ones I gave to you, Argyle, to pore over, were so blank.
Yes, one might call them, pardon the phrase, Commander, a dog shit.
Oh, I don't mind it whatsoever. It's completely accurate. You'll see a highlighted section. The rest of it's blotted out. However, the highlighted section reads as follows, that the general gist of it was that the reason for the blank dossiers was for self-discovery en route to foster
Maybe some
better
kind of social
communication.
experiment.
You would
that it?
think, I would think that this would be a medico philosophy experiment or something of the sort, but
Is that what? Perhaps that is who's funding us.
I mean, everybody's funding us if it's through the UPA. However, apparently the Admiralty feels as though it is necessary for us to dig in and find out the information of our crewmen ourselves, throwing safety to the wind.
With Argal, if I may. It is the reason why I asked you to look into the issue of Natalia. They had informed me at one point that there might be something in their file that some might find questionable. If you had told me that there was nothing of the sort in there, I would have brought up this disparity on the lack of information because of my own file having been scrubbed.
Yes, well, all of the files that I received through the UPA were
Garbage.
lukewarm at best. Very
Let's be
little
honest.
information, most of it redacted. Including Natalia. I can speak on the character a bit, however. They were willing to help us try to discover the true natures of what Dallas was up to. Provided some information as well. She was part of my investigation. However, with Mercer being cleared based on my own company's research, Dallas was becoming less and less suspicious. That was until Palas made those demands that we talked about yesterday.
Yes, and by the way, the court-martial was rejected by the same admiral.
That's curious.
Different problem, a different solution I have already conjured. Regardless, the other point of what the UPA was telling me was that we need to trust in them for selecting the top tier people for this job to ensure mission success. Yet they will not back me when I have an officer directly disobeying orders and making demands of their captain.
Captain, we also have a cannibal aboard.
I agree. We have a cannibal. They said they're also rejecting the court-martial for that. Cultural discrepancy, they're bringing it up with their ambassador, and they're going to solve it that way. So at least something's being processed that way.
UPA at its finest.
I
You understand why I hold the UPA in such low regards.
I am finding more and more reason why. They give us this ship that's already falling apart. They give us a crew that they don't tell us anything about, and tell us simply to trust them. That they want this mission to succeed. Well, they won't even support the officers they've placed on board to make the judgment calls and due process as such. I am wearing thin on my patience with them. If I don't get answers soon, there's going to be some major shifts on board here.
So, let me understand this. Exactly. The UPA is refusing to back you up on any calls that you're making aboard this vessel, but expects you to make calls based on information that you do not have.
Precisely. It would appear that that is the full crux of it, as it were.
Well, as you had mentioned, it seems like the UPA both gave you a faulty directive and a faulty ship. Well done.
Yes, I am fully aware.
Good old UPA.
Now they're failing at their basic task. I've received some encrypted messages as well. Ambassador is not thrilled about all this.
But regardless of all this, remember our current actual mission.
Yes,
It's the coaching.
correct.
We'll continue to keep an eye on our ne'er-do-wells aboard the vessel. Unless, of course, we've made a decision about Dallas. Specifically.
Like I said, I'll let everyone have breakfast and then have Gunch mull that over. Dallas is currently resting, pulled a double shift, so I'm not in the mood to deal with that problem. And plus we won't get straight answers out of someone who's on the verge of mental collapse already.
Indeed. But by the end of the day, I will have a good and proper determination on how to deal with this.
Aye.
Suppose we could
I think
continue
mulling it
doing
over
what...
over breakfast sounds nice.
Yes. Suppose we have two options. We continue along our investigation as planned. Making Pallas quite angry, unfortunately, in the process. Or we go with plan B. Because give Pallas what she's looking for and get answers immediately.
Already thinking the same line
That
as
would
I
be more
was.
forceful. Be quite forceful, actually. We'd have to drag him in and question him. That's why I wanted to do the investigation in silence.
I agree.
Indeed. If word gets out that we have dragged someone aside and interrogated them so, I imagine that's going to seed distrust, perhaps.
It shouldn't. We're just
Though-
doing our job, Couch.
Of course, we are just doing our job, but not every crew member is going to think that way.
Just make
We're
sure
being
I'm not there
pressured
the
by
other
another
day.
director.
Exactly.
Duly noted.
If Pallas is demanding answers immediately, there's very little we can do at that point. Our hands are tied. More so, the
Like
decision has to weigh heavily more on you, Commander.
Indeed. Which is why I'd like to mull over it.
That is your right. And if Paulus
Perhaps
gives you
lucky
any
that he worked a
problems,
double shift.
report it to me immediately. I'm not
You will be the
backing
first
down
to
on
know,
this case. That goes
Attention,
for...
Captain.
Yes, computer.
There have been requests for a boarding party to enter the ship.
Tell them to give us a few moments while we get suited up.
I will
Argyle,
buy you time.
Sid, with me. Get suited up.
Understood.
Dalan Gunch, you enjoy
are
your
an army.
breakfast.
Very
We
well.
don't
Understand.
know what they're exactly doing, so better to be
If,
prepared than...
Other engines.
Hmm.
Might I suggest
Captain, do you
at least
mind
one of
using
us
the
being
door?
unarmored? I do not mind being that individual.
Open it.
I have played.
It'll come off as being courteous. And if we have to act violently, it'll throw them off guard.
Are you sure it's the best idea for you, or should I do it since I'm the captain?
You're the one who should be wearing armor. Because you are the captain.
Very well. Then, if you would not mind, I must get changed.
Yes.
I'll meet you there.
Captain, when able, come by medical for a rescan.
A rescan.
Rescan. Make sure we didn't miss anything like we did with the ship.
Very well.
Yes, that would be fantastic. Thank you, Chef.
Something to look up.
Leave the packet if you need.
I'm looking to personally
Oh, perfect.
help foster that.
Actually, almost everybody we need to talk to is in like one place.
I see.
We kind of had a
Well,
small
having
concern
the
about
Thank
things
you.
and
Manners
a
to
plan
serve
to
someone
solve
in
it.
a situation like
I
that
mean,
is
but Argyle
admirable,
knew that there were
surely.
visitors coming, so I think we have something in place already that does
not
this.
always
Unless
an
I'm lacking information here.
What's
What
going on?
visitors?
Well, it appears that...
Security seems to know something is up.
So important we do not.
Yes.
I requested that the doctor help
ourselves go
ensure
numb.
that the artifacts are secure.
idea.
Ah, good.
Do we? So, the question I have: do we have a short-range scanner on the ship? Something to detect life forms close by.
Yes.
When we're landed.
We used it earlier, remember, Archer?
Others do not have to.
Yesterday.
For the flowers and stuff.
For the flowers, those going hunting.
Yeah. Okay, we need to like, and when I say we, I mean probably me. Have some sort of automatic alert for if something approaches our ship that is not us. We get alerted because that'd be important. That'd be nice.
Yeah, alerted me
If
as
you
to
would
it.
like, I can begin alerting you,
That would be
as
appreciated.
well as the
Perfect.
captain.
Oh, cool, easy. All right, we already have
yeah,
everything
AI.
that we need.
Perfect.
Very well. Argyle, are you ready to go greet our Atlas visitors?
Atlas is wonderful.
I'm gonna go make sure that these are.
Best of luck to you both.
Thank you, Gunge.
Never mind. Perfect timing.
Yes, everything seems to be flowing correctly today.
High psionic energies.
It might dampen it a bit.
You want to hide them?
Because I don't think.
It's hard to. It's hard to hide them.
It is, but
Sort of hide them.
I could emanate a little extra. Take down some walls.
What's your purview, Captain?
No, it'll be hard to find them when you have a glaring beacon like myself there. Maybe like looking into a spotlight and trying to find a pin.
I'll still
Captain.
throw the
Yes.
at least the bone in a lead box.
If they're from Atlas and they give you shit, just come talk to me.
Duly noted. If you want to be behind us on standby, that would be appreciated.
Okay, sure.
Shall we?
Shall we? Yes.
We shall.
We'll say if things get violent, Captain. I know your current idea is to charge forward. Isn't the docking bay this way? Are we looking up?
I thought they said they were at the airlock.
I didn't get the message.
I believe they said they were at the airlock. Let me raise the computer real quick.
My suggestion, Captain, if they are to be aggressive in any sort of way, then as much as you would like to run in there with your little sword, perhaps not. You are a high-value
that
target
small.
aboard this. There's a high-value target aboard this vessel.
Well, if you'd like, Captain, I will walk in front of you. In such case.
I will be fine, both of you. Your concern is understood and warranted. But I will be fine. I don't expect that this will be violent. Especially if they're coming
Well,
on
that's
board.
nice of you to think that.
Well, if they're coming on board, they're subject to UPA law. Computer, were they
We
at
all
the
know that
airlock
mega
or the
corporations
hangar?
Obey UPA law.
They are currently within the airlock. I am still buying you time.
We're already on our way.
You sure you don't want to keep your visor ready? You have that much faith in them, Captain?
I doubt that this will be too much of a problem.
Welcome aboard the Tara 1.
Oh, hello. Good day.
Greetings.
About damn time.
Yes, greetings.
Forgive us, you caught us early and when we were undressed.
Go on forward now.
Please.
Is there a place you'd
I
prefer
take
to
it
have
you
words,
must be
or is...
Captain Hobinson?
I am. And you are?
I am Conroy Crow.
I see.
Most people just call me Connor.
A pleasure to meet you, Mr. Kroll.
And you as well. Shall we talk somewhere more private?
Certainly, we can meet in the conference room. If you wouldn't mind. I'll walk beside you. Sid, Argyle, would you mind taking front?
Sure.
Absolutely, Captain.
What are you doing? Look on.
Very impressive vessel, Captain.
Yes,
At
one
least
can
from the
certainly say
outside.
that. It is unique in all of its own ways.
Now's not the time for your wine.
Hmm. It is the first of its model, correct?
Correct.
Couldn't compare to some other vessels Atlas has made.
I could agree on that. At least most of the ones I've been in. I will come to meet you later, Crow. Although the UPA does have good craftsmanship.
Tied down by bureaucracy, unfortunately. We all know that if we want true progress, the less bureaucracy we have, well...
That we both can agree on.
Aye, but what's bureaucracy without the force behind it? UPA ensures that everyone is safe.
Everyone in its own system, of course.
True, but it's looking to expand and protect everyone that it can reach.
So I've heard.
Besides, without us, I believe Centurion could bully anyone that they wished.
Here you are, gentlemen.
Oh, I'm sure they could. But they're mostly bullheaded.
True.
Thank you. Is there a specific spot you'd like to sit, or would you like to stand?
I prefer standing myself.
Very well.
Please. No need to...
You two. That door, please. Apologies, Captain. But, I wouldn't have this many bodyguards if I didn't do.
I understand. So, what brings you all the way out here to us?
Well, we had gotten, information from one of your crew members. I believe an archer, if I read the report correct.
That's me.
I see.
You go. They had gone to one of our outposts and informed us that you had encountered one of our vessels that went quiet a while back. We're simply here to recover the items from it. It is Atlas property, after all.
If you're looking for the personal crew effects, we can certainly hand you all that back.
Well, that would be appreciated. I believe you and I both know that's not what I'm looking for.
Please, do share what exactly it is you're looking for. I don't want to go through looking all the spare parts that we already have on the ship, along with digging up whatever else the crew have been working on.
The relics that were in cargo.
Interesting. So, relics that are under jurisdiction 287 of the UPA protocol, that would be the distribution of precursor items to further a mutual study. If I'm remembering correctly, that law is still in effect.
Well, it is. That's only in effect in UPA territory.
Aye.
This is not UPA territory, Captain.
This is a UPA vessel,
Oh,
correct?
yeah, the ship. Yes, but you took it from one of our vessels.
Well, if I'm remembering correctly, the same lack of legality that's used for covering said vessel would be implemented on this case. It was a neutral zone, a declassified ship that was left adrift in undocumented waters, shall we say, and with undocumented information and items on board. It was just a recovery mission by the UPA now to ensure that these are moved to the proper locale. I'm
Yes,
certain.
I believe the proper location is in the hands of Atlas.
Oh, I think you misunderstand.
I don't
Brought up
misunderstand
defense.
anything.
You might. Just. As you had mentioned, this is not UPA space. Therefore, UPA law does not apply. However, you and I both know how our corporations operate. Yes?
I'm very well
By the
aware.
hand they're reaching out to try to steal something from now, an oracle's grasp. Especially a relic. We would hate for
It's
this to
not
get back
stealing if we were the ones that found them. Now is it?
to... Oh, but you
Oracle
lost
has
them.
no
We
right to
recovered
these
them for you.
things. No one has any right to them, other than us, because we are the founders of them.
Yes, and then you lost them.
Did
like
you
the
could
previous
Didn't
owners.
lose them.
Did you not? Well, I have them.
the UPA?
They
As
used
the
to-
As
you
far
were
as I'm
right to remove-
concerned, you're holding on to
A relic that belongs to me.
Where's the legality
Those
standpoint
relic.
for it? From as
the standpoint.
Point is, it was originally on one of our vessels. Correct me if I'm wrong, Captain, but if you come across a derelict ship out in the middle of nowhere, it is only right to report it to the proper owners.
well, by that logic, then it's
owners
also
being
correct to report precursor artifacts to the UPA, regardless of their locale or where they were procured from. Am I not correct? So as I like
Again.
to see this,
UPA has no jurisdiction, Captain, in this sector of space. It does not matter if it is told to them, simply for the fact that they have no laws here.
well, currently,
While your laws may work on this ship, it does not work outside of it. That ship, I believe, unless you somehow crammed it in here, was not on your ship.
the same lack of laws that you're trying to use on us, does that not mean that it is not wrong to take, by right of salvage, from another ship that's been derelict and abandoned?
I'm not saying that it's not. I'm simply stating the fact that one of your crew members came to us, let us know that the ship is out there, and said that they were aware of the relics.
Aye. And as a good faith of show, the UPA has collected them and will be redistributing them back to the collective for further study between Atlas, Oracle, the Vlaka, and everyone else within the UPA that wishes to study them. From the way I see this, that we are assisting you in relocating them to where you intended to send them. Especially since this is also
I
a
was not
diplomatic
intending
vessel.
To have them sent to the UPA, Captain. I had my own reasons and whereabouts I wanted them to be. They have no reason being on an Atlas ship or planet.
They have no reason to belong to an Atlas ship or planet. Is that what you just said?
A UPA ship or planet.
I think your conscience just told us everything. You know very well that now that they are
I think
within...
your conscience, my conscience misspoke.
Well, you also are aware that now that they are in possession of a UPA ship or planet, UPA law now applies to them. Which means if you were to leave with said artifacts, you'd be in direct violation of UPA law. Which also means...
I'd like to point out the fact that they are also under the jurisdiction of Oracle. So you would be affecting another
They are
mega
not under the
corporation in your
jurisdiction of
actions.
Oracle. I feel
Oh,
like
they very
you're
much are.
very misinformed.
I'm an agent of
Is this
Oracle, and they're
is
under
this
my
an
purview.
Oracle vessel, Captain?
No, they are going to the UPA.
I'm an agent. Yes, they are.
Captain, is there a reason why your crew member are speaking for you?
Not at all.
I believe that they are just concerned with wanting the artifacts to be relocated to the proper research channels within UPA jurisdiction. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
Which we can facilitate on your behalf. Atlas can get all the credit for the discovery of a new precursor race, and joint effort can be found in finding their mysteries and secrets for the benefit of the rest of the galaxy.
If you choose to play it this way, then, Captain, you may. We are willing to pay handsomely for the recovery of them. I hope you are aware. And we are also willing to deliver what data we can on the artifacts.
If that were the case, then why would you be so hesitant to allow them to cross back into UPA territory for proper research and documentation?
Because, believe it or not, Captain, some of us don't trust the UPA. UPA, much like most organizations, have their own issues and has their own problems. We simply wish to look over these artifacts, see what they can be used for, and do as such. Believe it or not, I'm not just some corpo drone. Like some others are. Some of us do things for the right reason.
I acknowledge your statements, however, I will have to maintain my adherence to UPA law as one of the captains under such. I will not risk my own court-martial, nor will I risk the punishment be delivered to the rest of my crew for breaking said law without them interfering. I hope you understand that these laws now apply to me as well. I can't break them. If I were to give you them, you could get away with it. But I wouldn't. Nor would anyone else on board this ship. So forgive me, but I must enact in the best interest of my crew.
Very well, Captain. This is your choice. If some of you could go grab the prisoner so we can leave.
If you would not mind escorting them so they don't get lost.
I'll be right by. All I say, Captain, is I do hope you change your mind before it is too late. You seem like a decent fellow.
It sounds vaguely like a threat, though.
It's not a threat, it is a warning. Again, I am not just some cog in a machine. I have, believe it or not, an actual conscience and personality. I am simply giving you a heads up.
Well, it would be nice to know what I'm being warned of.
Well, I can't say that, otherwise it'd come back on me now, wouldn't it?
Fair enough.
If you would be so kind as to escort me out.
Very well. Argyle, you and Archer can stay behind on this one, and I'll have a conversation with both of you.
Very well.
Leave her waiting for the captain. I don't think he would like it. Wandered off. Just this way?
Correct.
Sorry, Captain. Headache.
No, I understand.
Don't smell that bad.
Oh, there he is.
So this is our new crewman.
According to the UPN, yes. He will hand you a datapad. There should be the record we have on him, and so on, Dover. Undo his cuffs.
What's your name?
Coleman Joseph Burke, sir.
Very well.
Do I do this? Is that what we do here? Okay. Right.
I see. Very well.
Medical for rescan.
Valora, now is not a good time.
Understood. I said when done.
Very well.
If you don't mind, Captain.
I won't
We
keep
would
you.
like to take our leave. You heard him out the door.
This is going to be a rather annoying report to write.
Watch the hatch.
Respawn.
Hello,
There.
welcome to the Tara 1.
That's the ship's AI. You get used to it after
You
a
have
while.
one of those.
Believe me, it's not my first choice. But surprisingly, it's actually come in handy once or twice. Now, if you would not mind, Sid, if you'd show Mr. Burke to security so that we can get him properly processed.
Sure.
I mean, I can make this quick for you. All I got is this thing, and it barely works. They didn't let me keep anything, so.
Either way, we still need to
I
get
don't-
you on file and one generated.
Okay.
If you wouldn't
Process
mind.
is a process.
At least you guys are consistent. Sometimes that works, you know.
We try. I'm already liking this character.
I could not. I have no idea what you're talking about. I cannot tell you. I'm innocent. I don't know. What do you want? What do you want? Expect me to say?
But we don't even know
'Cause
what
whatever
you
I
did.
say isn't going to. Well, I think it's on that the data pad they gave you. I don't know if there's a point in me saying anything, to be honest. Place is like a maze.
Again, you get used to it. Gunch,
We have a newbie.
this is our new crewman, Mr. Burke.
I see that. I saw him waving at my camera as he was walking down the hall.
So you guys actually watch. That's good.
Oh yes.
Oh, we're not just actually patrolling.
So, you're the Atlas prisoner they've brought along then?
I don't think I'm
Yes.
a prisoner.
I'm going over the data pad that the Atlas head gave me on
Labor
Mr. Burke.
sentence prisoner.
Out of character, Lucius, I sent you that document.
Oh, you did?
should-
Okay, that's
yeah,
what that
you
was.
should have a message.
Understood. Give me one moment.
Step above slavery, perhaps.
I'm not really. I'm here to do work. Let's just put it that way.
If you're here to do work, what's your department going to be?
I'm here to do chemistry.
Chemist.
Yeah. You know, the greens and the blues and the glass beakers and stuff like that.
You're not going to blow us up in our sleep, are you?
I mean, unless you have something that could blow an entire ship up.
It's very possible.
I haven't seen it.
Well,
Noted.
it seems they
I
didn't
know
record
little
as to what.
but Tashia has told
Yeah,
me
I don't
many
really
things.
want to explode, so.
Gunch, I will trust this portion of the process to you. I'm going to go have a word with Argyle and Archer.
Very well.
Do you mind me tagging along, Captain?
No, this one I need to handle alone.
Good luck.
They
But
think
they'll
they
let you
own
do the
space is so fucking smart.
We'll see.
So, that was an interesting debacle.
Yes.
We'll start in order of what occurred. Archer, any particular reason why you informed them?
Yes, I work for Atlas. I'm here working for Atlas, and it was the most reasonable thing to do. We found an Atlas vessel. I returned them their credentials, and I told them what was on the vessel that we recovered.
You cannot blame them, Captain. That is kind of the purview of an agent of a mega corporation aboard the vessel.
Oh, yes. I'm aware.
I do not believe anyone informed them that the artifacts were supposed to be somewhat of a secret to avoid this conflict.
Yes. I'll let this be considered an oversight. From now on, before you disperse information as such, please ask me. I thought you were only going to return the dog tags. While I understand it is your corporation that you're working for, they are still a member of the UPA, and they still need to adhere to the rules and regulations set forth.
Follow along.
There's a reason we do this. But now on to the other issue. Argyle.
Yes.
As the same for you. I understand you're looking out for Oracle's interests as well. However, that does not give you the right to speak over me the way you did and speak for me. Ye was correct. You were speaking for me. This is not an Oracle vessel. This is a UPA ship still.
Thank you, miss.
No.
Understood, Captain.
You verbatim said they belong to Oracle. We have yet to make a call on such a thing on either end. And this comes trailing right after the disrespect I got from Pallas. Argyle, I trust you. You are a confidant of me. We have worked together before. We have had each other's backs. However,
Might I explain?
it better be damn good at this point. I'm not happy with all this.
Understandable. My intention was not to speak over you, but I apologize for. Nor was it to assume your authority in that argument. What they had attempted to do was give you an ally to use against them.
Instead, now, you have an argument for him to be that this is working for Atlas under the cover.
They're going to assume what they want to assume.
Aye, but it does not look good on anyone here. I'm already getting comments just because we are friends. I don't need this
It was a
going
deception.
across.
And I apologize. Again, my intentions were to give you a backing. In case the UPA was not enough to deter them, perhaps another megacorporation swinging behind you might.
That's the effect of the UPA. We all work together. Even if...
You and I both know that the UPA is not respected by the megacorporations.
I know it's not. However, they still supply UPA planets. They still get profit from them, and a large chunk of said thing. Which means it is still in their interest to stay in its good graces. The fact that you spoke out in the manner of which made it seem that this is an Oracle vessel reduced that influence of Union. It should be pre-expected that the UPA includes Oracle, and the reason that I brought up the articles that those artifacts are covered under is because it is a Vlaka Oracle joint effort to do so and to pass that law.
Yes.
Which means they were bearing the weight of both those individual factions on top of the UPA.
I wish you would have had my back then. You see, you agreed with the Atlas agent. We could have done that as an argument together. Which is what I was trying to give you. And I do apologize that the deception came off as it did. And demeaned you. I'm sorry.
What's done is done. I'm going to overlook this both. Clearly we were not prepared in the way that we thought we were, or on the same page, you and I. We were not on the same page either, Archer. And I am sorry. However, we need this entire thing to go through. From now on, we're going to be
So what is the
focused.
plan?
Well, after that little outburst of everything, it is almost a guarantee that they have to go back to the UPA. It's not even an almost, it is a guarantee. They are now going to the UPA.
Very well.
Mercer, you're in here. I caught you out of the corner of my eye.
Yes, I am. Wanted to inform you the engines have been repaired and we're ready to leave.
Good.
Turns out one of the circuits were fried to all hell.
I can only imagine how that happened. Very well. Start making departure preparations.
Yes, Captain. Also, I noticed we have a new, crew member.
That is correct.
Oh yes, this is becoming a web.
All I'll say is, my room has a spare bed, apparently.
I'll keep that in mind. I know I was receiving other transfer requests for roommates, so that might take place. Speaking of which, Archer, Valora and Siri will be bunking together now, so you will be able to bunk with Jasper.
Okay.
Talk somewhere, talk in a room. If we can start a fire.
I have nothing
What do we do
further.
if they come back?
If they come back, it's as I said. They're attacking a UPA ship, which means that UPA law still applies to them, which means they will have the bearing down of the entirety of it. Especially since we are on a diplomatic mission, it increases the infraction. Now,
With all due respect, Captain, they will not give a damn. The reason why they will not fire upon the vessel is because we have the artifacts. They do not wish them to be destroyed. So it's highly unlikely that they'll fire on us. Boarding party, perhaps.
Captain, if they start asking me questions, what am I supposed to say?
what would they ask you questions about? They've already gotten the information that they need.
Like if they ask for our location, for example.
Archer, while you're employed by them, you are also contracted out to UPA. Your loyalty should be to the safety of the ship. And your fellow crew, first and foremost.
Yes, I understand that part. But if they ask me things and I say, what do I say? I say, I don't know. Do I say, I physically can't answer this because of the contract that I entered?
What do you think, Argyle?
In this particular situation, I think you give them the information that they're looking for. We'll just have to maneuver around it. If you deny your mega corporation the information they're requesting, the consequences can be quite dire. We're all trying to do our best in our corporations.
So,
just inform us. If there's something that they are requesting that is, let's say, a reach too far.
Captain, the preparations have been made.
Thank you, Mercer.
I can live with that. The captain can.
I'm fine with it.
I answer what they ask me and then I let everyone know.
I would let us know first before you send the response out.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
I'd rather not have you get in trouble with them, because they are much less forgiving than myself. I have nothing further.
Yes, Captain.
get us off the ground?
Aye.
Knock, knock.
Hello, Sid.
Hello, Captain. Argyle. I was
Sid?
thinking. It's been quite a while since we've meditated, hasn't it, Captain?
This is correct.
I feel as though we need to start catching up.
I don't disagree.
Correct me if I'm wrong in this thought. They're coming back, yes.
It is a high possibility, but there are no confirmations.
Well, I let some of the rest of the crew know, just in case. To be prepared. I pictured you trying to play the UPA side, Captain. I do, but we both know.
Yes, I have heard it 1,500 times now. They don't care. I understand. I need some time to walk. I need some time by myself. I'm not.
I know all about that, unfortunately. You are never bothered.
Ah. And's livid.
Who are unaware, we have taken on.
do find him, could you tell me?
I'm assuming that doesn't look really good on you either, that you're now
I found him.
but Atlas considers having stolen goods on it. Oh, sorry, know that there's stolen goods on.
I've done it like 4
Hey,
times.
Captain,
Come and
can I ask a request? I know it's not very important, but next time you decide to jump, would you have a warning?
That's the 3rd time I've heard that.
Are you in the room?
Okay, you're angry, I can tell.
Somebody
But
pressed the
you know,
button by accident, and I rolled with it.
okay. Still though,
I see.
I believe the other 2 times or 1 time that it happened, there was no notification of it. So
I'll strangle you.
I'm not in a pleasant mindset right now, Reed.
it is just a
And
request,
before
Captain.
you
I'm not trying to.
speak any more words, listen for a moment.
Always what I'm told.
I have one question only.
Corporates are around.
Did you know
say anything.
about
They ask
that
you any questions,
corpse
tell them nothing,
disposal?
ever.
Look,
Hmm?
I'm not
Did you
gonna-
know
I'm not gonna
about
not do my job.
that as the corpse disposal?
Meyer?
I'd like to be employed.
No, I was okay. So ask me or tell me, when did this happen?
Apparently, during the cleanup, someone fed them the corpses, and they ate the corpses.
Okay.
Did you know, and did you give that order?
Well,
I don't think
just
you
as
can
I
look at my
said to
resume
Chef, body consumption is something that I really would like if people wouldn't do.
Well, here's a new order. It is forbidden on this ship, and if I ever find out that you did it again, I will find some way to get rid of you. Be it through legal means or any other. I do not tolerate that behavior.
Captain, are you threatening a crew member?
Honestly, I don't want to be a gun, hired or not.
Are you telling me you want your corpse eaten?
No, I do not want my corpse eaten, but I don't think it's good to threaten a crew member aboard the ship.
Mercer, allow me to handle this on my own terms.
Captain.
You're dismissed. To your post.
I need to have to talk with a freight first.
To your post. You can talk later. This is an order. And are you disobeying an order?
No, Captain.
Off with you then. I'm getting tired of the disrespect for me on this ship. That changes now. When I give an order, I better hear a yes, sir. Or, if you're feeling generous, when I tell you to jump, you ask how high. No more back talk until you are given permission to speak. No more consuming of corpses. I'll have you shipped back to the UPA. And let the courts deal with you.
Sir.
Out of my sight now. See to it that that doesn't happen ever again. This is a secondary major fuck-up.
Captain?
Under your watch.
Do I have permission to speak, Captain?
Permission granted.
Kindly don't yell next to me.
Excuse me.
I have sensitive ears, Captain.
As do I. As does Sid. None of us do. Go to your post. Or go find Mercer. I don't care right now.
I have to talk to Mercer, Captain.
What?
Don't mind me,
I might
Captain. I'm
know.
just watching.
I was not watching. I did have something to ask, though I hate to interrupt your
You're free to speak, Gunch.
laying of the hammer.
What's
I just
going
simply
on?
need you to upload Burke's datapad information to my computer so I can look over it.
I already uploaded it to security systems when I came in with him.
Oh. I guess I didn't look hard enough.
I will
Not great with
ensure
computers.
that's sent to you, personally.
Very well. That is all, Captain.
Yes. I assume you're going to tell me I need to get that temper checked.
You say old relics, but finding a precursor vessel
Just concerned for you.
in the middle of nowhere, I imagine that's gonna be one hell of a find.
It has been one thing after another after another.
You would imagine the amount of ancient technology in there that could actually be superior than modern technology.
Don't disagree.
And yet was shipped
There has been disrespect about this
years
vessel.
old, and you wouldn't know why this technology is better than the one we have now.
No, I wouldn't. Until we actually tried it. Find something we didn't find yet.
Well, that ended the attempt at finding a peaceful walk. I'm going to my quarters for a minute. Perhaps there I will find some solace. If anyone is looking for me, I am unavailable right now.
Understood, Captain.
Anyone.
No, we're traveling pretty far, you know. Starting a new life somewhere else.
Let his wisdom guide you. Let it guide that rage to its right target. Find yourself amongst all three of their kind, for they are us and we are them. They are merely the first to find the way. They are the first to find their strength. I truly am alone. That's like when I was a pup. At least I have a real sitting gunch and a mute. I could use a mute more right now. At least for this. He's wise beyond his years. I guess I'd do him the other day. Make a great sage. Need to find some way to help me home. Sid would feed it. Smoke grin on his face when I exploded. Am I wrong, Orin? I have tried my damnedest to be calm, despite it all. But it just keeps coming. Its ancestors, great of foreign, strong tyrann, merciful ear. Please, please. Let me find the strength to do this. I'm losing hope. Every day, they just prove more and more. Tyranites have been saying for the past 300 years, only amplified by the war. They are stronger alone now. They have abused us for too long. I want to believe. I really do. Every time they fail me. Every time. How can I keep going like that? If I'd been on the council, if I were on the council, right now, I'd push to have us withdraw. Let the corporations tear the UPA apart. But then there's all those innocents. Is that fair to them? The UPA might be wrong. The message behind it is right. I'll see to it that Flocka is the one that delivers that message. But one thing cannot be ignored either way. I have been disrespected, and that needs to stop.
The captain left the room.
Oh, that would
Yes.
should be good for scan. When free.
I'll head to
I'm
medical
free
on my.
okay.
I'll head to medical in due time. Please keep the PDA to your room.
The better, in my opinion.
At least someone shows respect on this ship. Please take care of my lab well.
It's hard to hold your breath the entire time you do that. What? Just let me know if you need anything sabotaged. It's easy.
Will do. I should.
If you need repair on your weapon or...
I'm sensitive, I didn't think. I'll keep an eye on him. Sure that he's not a danger to the crew, Captain.
Gunch, Argo. I hope you weren't perturbed by my outburst. It has just hit a breaking point. I can only handle so much.
That's what I was concerned about. Are you alright?
Better. I meditated for a while, so It's helped calm me down. Sid was correct. I had not meditated in almost a week's time now. It was long overdue.
I did want to apologize, Captain.
Thank you, but
Again, it was not.
I am sorry for being as extreme as I was. You were just doing what you thought was correct in the moment. It was a miscommunication on both parties. But I appreciate you acknowledging the parts where you overstepped.
Yes, I could have handled it more tactfully.
All in all, it could have been handled more tactfully. But we made do with what we can. We'll have to just continue on as forward. As we have been. The Kochi is our primary concern now. I don't want any more distractions. Unless absolutely vital.
Yes.
The sooner we get done with our primary objective, the better.
Agreed. Hello, Sid.
Captain, would you, care for a little walk?
Sure.
I'm not going to berate you, don't worry.
I still be careful. I'm still in the mindset of exploding the next moment I can.
Before you go, Captain, a question to ask of you.
Of course.
With involving Burke, our new crew member. I read the briefer than I thought it would be Fio. The only thing I
everything
thought
has
of the
been.
note. Well, I thought found a note was their Atlas noting that they had present psionics, but did not specify level or anything of the sort.
Interesting.
I think it might be worth checking to ensure they're not some. Well, forgive me for I do not know the term all-powerful being.
Yeah, if they were, you would have felt it. Even non-psionics can feel that weight in the air.
Well, that is reassuring.
Well, if did
I have Argyle
feel a spark.
on. I see. I have Argyle on getting a proper dossier from the UPA, so we can learn what we need to. But
Well,
from what I saw speaking to him, he seems quite benign. I'm not incredibly worried.
Very well. But I wouldn't hold my breath on the UPA. They barely give us information on the people that they do have records on, so.
That is true. I don't know if Oracle would have anything about them. They're an Atlas prisoner.
I agree. But
regardless,
keep an eye on them until we can clear them of whatever. Just figure out why. See if we can find out why. If you have the opportunity to, see if you can get them to open up about it. That'd be the preference.
Captain, can you remember? I was having a hard time recalling. Was this individual dropped off aboard our vessel because UPA asked them to?
The communique I got was from the UPA initially telling us that they're dropping them off.
Understood.
That's all I know. Nothing
That's all I
further.
had for you.
Very well.
If you want to continue your walk.
I'll need to get my initial scan done for medical. Granted, they're probably not the happiest with me, but at this point, I don't really care. Gunch, you're the only officer that has not shown me a level of disrespect yet.
I've been disrespected enough times as a leader to know that a leader does not appreciate it very much.
I thank you. As I said, I've been very patient trying to acclimatize to the other cultures. However, it has reached a point where it crosses into you are a contractor on a military vessel. Granted, it's a diplomatic vessel and a research vessel as well. But once you sign that contract, you are now a member of the military via extension. And Palas, of all people, being former UPA military, so they claim, should understand this as well. Anyway, I will not dwell on it any further until the time comes. I'm going to try and organize a department head meeting shortly. I'll let you know when I start making moves on it.
Understood. I will listen to my radio. Enjoy your walk, Captain.
Thank you. All dismissed.
Shall we go pay medical visit?
Form, and they'll figure out the necessity of it. Either they give it to me or not.
Jeffrey was looking for you.
Is everyone forgetting something?
Captain.
Captain's on deck.
Captain.
Well? We've already had problems. I suggest you follow suit. You were fine. You signed a contract with the UPA military. Step in line now.
A salute, Captain.
Salute.
I have not been shown a salute.
I don't salute back until I'm given the salute. That's how it works.
I'm not asking you to salute. I am saying that no one has ever shown me
Your fellow
a salute
crewmen
to give.
are giving you the example right now. There is no excuse. You have 1, 2, 3. And you're still crossing your arms there like you own the place. I'm going to give you to the count of 3. 1, 2. All dismissed.
Watch your fingers, Shaw.
Of course. Take care.
You watch your mouth, dog.
Argyle.
Captain. We're about to have a private conversation.
Over.
The doctor
Sure,
discussed it
Gunch.
in a little bit.
Very well. I'll wait my turn.
I come bearing gifts, Captain.
What is it?
You see, a scrap rhino beetle horn. It's pretty fucking large. What's it up to? We went hunting the other night. You were a bit occupied. So I thought to bring a souvenir.
Thank you. I'll, hold on to it for a moment. When I'm not going to get scanned and when we're not going to go meditate, we can put it in the quarters.
Sure.
Ifrit is ready to see you, Captain.
Thank you, Gunch. Also, do me a favor. You're an officer.
Yes.
Make sure Vane salutes you when you walk by. If they don't, give them the same treatment I just did.
Understood, Captain.
If the others ask questions, just tell them that it's now enforced that they're going to have to start saluting officers. As I said, I'm tired of the disrespect on this ship.
Does this include the chef, Captain?
This includes the chef.
You say no.
He is an officer.
Very well.
Say on one of the
I will
beds.
spread the word. And Ifrit, I will be in green room 1 if you need me.
Alright. I'll be there. It's just a quick scan, Captain. Gotta make sure nothing has changed with you. That is all. son of a bitch. Can you grab it from me? Thank you.
You need to practice with your psionics more at this rate.
I don't need you using that much. Alright, Captain. On a character, has there been anything that changed with the Captain? Is he still the same from the first time you had a scan?
Is the scan any more advanced than the last one?
Nope, it is just the same one as the first time you took it.
All baselines seem correct. No changes further.
Alright, that's all, Captain. As I said, the simple thing.
Very well. And sorry for completely snapping at you. It has just been a conjunction of things that have finally boiled over. It is nothing personal.
I'm not sure if I really want to accept your apology, Captain.
You don't have to.
I'm sorry for talking when you were talking. I was just trying to assure you that I was not, against you. I just care about the crew and their health. That is all.
Thank you. As I said, it has still reached a point, so I'm sorry that you caught the radius of the explosion.
I don't know what those Atlas did, but
His business is not mine.
you see that? You see that thing you did with one? It was like this.
Shall we?
You might be stopped again, as per usual, but it's fine, I'm patient.
Medical does a basic checkup and scan on everyone.
Captain on deck.
What? Sorry.
You're missing something.
Is this part of your procedure now? I must salute you as you pass in the hallway.
It is now. I was being lenient before, but after all the disrespect I've faced recently, things are changing. We're getting harder on this ship.
On a civilian vessel.
This is still a military vessel. It's a research vessel. Also, if I'm mistaken, unless you lied to me, you said you were former military. Active or not, you should understand the proper forms of respect. So, you're gonna comply. That's not the proper salute.
What is then, Captain? Please educate me.
Your subordinate's giving a prime example. Dismissed.
You're doing great, Captain.
Like I said, I've hit a point. Perhaps a few days of the hard treatment, and they'll be a little bit more respectful, and we can go back to the old way. Because I really do hate having to do that salute every single fucking time. It smells like ozone.
Well, I
Someone
believe you did
recently-
leave.
No. Smells like someone. Someone was firing a laser weapon in here not long ago.
Was it the chef, you think?
No. It was a distinctive mark. Plus, the radiation that comes off of his weapon wouldn't leave as much of an ozone scent. Regardless, that's what this room is designed for. What?
Nothing. I'm going to withhold my comments. Unless you'd like me to speak freely, Captain.
Permission granted. What's going on? What are you so giddy about?
We should sit first. Call me crazy. Call me, weird. But I quite enjoy this, Captain. It's nice to see you take the, reins. I myself don't mind it, even if I am at the brunt of it. I don't mind.
Like I said, I'm not exactly a fan of it myself. There are some overt procedures that are not necessary, but like I was saying on the way up, if people are going to continue to talk to me as though I am not here or not an actual authority on the ship, then they're going to have to be corrected. It has been 2 weeks. And especially with Pallas, like I said to them, they say they're a military individual. They should know better.
Well, if it seems as though I too have made the mistake of disrespecting you, I apologize.
Honestly, Sid, there have been so many infractions at this point. I'm starting to forget which portion of disrespect is. But most of the times when we speak, I give you free rein to. It's usually a social contract, really. But everyone else seems to be abusing my kindness.
That is a very real thing, Captain. Kindness is, it's valuable. But if you make it plentiful, the supply and demand gets out of whack.
There's a balance to all things. I am correcting the scales. I'm hoping that after a bit of harsh treatment and staunch rule enforcement, attitudes will change, and I can go back to being a little bit more laxed. It keeps me calmer.
It'll happen. That is all I had to say on the matter. To beat a dead horse.
You seemed so thrilled initially. I caught the
Does that
look.
bother you, Captain?
No. Does not surprise me in the least, actually.
You have me all figured out.
No. Just enough of you to understand where certain thoughts lie. One thought I can't get past, though. There was a shift in you yesterday. I saw it. Usually you speak with such a confidence. Even if you're irritated, you don't let your rage get in the way of what you want. But when you were talking to him, I watched, and I saw it. You were caught on the back foot. like someone faked you in swordplay. What caused that is what I'm wondering. You stuttered, of all things.
You caught that, didn't you?
I'm not the captain just because I'm a hard ass and because I can get my job done. I'm the captain because I'm observant and I know where people's limits are.
Right. It's nothing.
Nothing?
I just wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting him to say that to me.
Say what?
I forgive you. Captain, I'm sure you know. The words were harsh. And I just got through with a talk. Before I talked with Emu with the chef, and our conversation was not nearly as peaceful or cooperative.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. It seems like the chef and I will be on the back foot for a little bit. That's fine. It's just... You'd caught me off guard. That's all.
Significantly.
He's so quick to forgive. Not anyway.
Do you admire that?
Admire is... That's a word to use, yes. I... just... He brought me back his own. He reminded me of someone.
Someone significant. If it caught you that off guard. Like I said, you don't make mistakes like that usually. You don't falter like that. So, you don't have to tell me anything if you don't want to. But I'll have to ask you one question that I asked you the other day. Actually, you asked me this. Do you believe MU has a soul?
I do now, Captain.
Good.
And the worst part of it was that it is an innocent soul. Despite his past transgressions, he has an opportunity of a blank slate. Not many get that. I don't have that.
That's the funny thing about time. There's an old human adverb that says time heals all wounds. It's a lie. Time doesn't heal all wounds, but it allows scars to form and fade. The scars will always leave a memory. But what you choose to do with that knowledge and wisdom that's left on you, that's what makes you you. MU still has some of the knowledge of what they did, and they wish for peace. It's not impossible.
I know he's not a pup.
No.
But that quickness to forgive, that innocence he has, that hopefulness he has, can't help but be reminded. That's all. So, forgive me if I turn a bit of a 180 on him, you, but
I see.
now I feel like I have to protect him.
I now understand. You know, the one he reminds you of isn't ever gone. They're just hidden behind walls.
This wasn't supposed to be about me, Captain. We were supposed to be meditating.
Is it anything about you? So I am right.
It was something that I had forgotten about, and I chose to forget about. It was locked away. You asked me what happened. What happened to me during the war? A lot of things, Captain. Here I am.
Here you are.
I guess for now, I will attempt to make things a bit more right.
Nice.
Starting with that one.
One more thing. Before you go soldiering on, you have an opportunity. Take MU as an example. No one is past that point. Anyone can come back from that darkness. A single match burns brightest in said dark. Might sound like spiritualist mumbo jumbo from an foreign temple, but I think you realize it holds more truth than you thought initially. When you see that light, don't ignore it. Because if you snuff it out, you're just as guilty as the people that you hate. And you're only disservicing yourself by ignoring it.
You are the wise man, Captain.
I have my moments. I think you need a moment. I'm going to get something to eat because I haven't eaten all day. And I burnt up a lot of energy already. When you feel like you've settled your mind, I'll be downstairs. Or upstairs. Keep forgetting this is down.
Understood, Captain.
Siri? Do me a favor. When in front of the others, salute me, and Gunch and your other officers, such as Palas, Mercer, Ifrit. Thank you. But when it's one-on-one personal time or talks, you don't have to. You have shown me a lot of respect. Granted, I know it wasn't by choice for you to. You were essentially programmed. There's no way around saying that. But it still means a lot to me that you showed that respect. Which means you have been granted a few freedoms than the rest of the crew. It's hard to explain. But you're in my good graces, let's say that.
Okay.
Also, it's good to see a slight smile on your face.
Captain. I don't fully understand what I'm capable of, but I am concerned that I will harm Valora if I am not capable of controlling myself.
Well, you see. Tomorrow night, then. We'll start with meditation.
Okay.
And if you are truly concerned, I'll work with you and see if I can get some runes made that will help dampen any excess energy. I'm used to them at this point. My room used to be covered at them when I was much younger. Of course. And like I said, I'm glad that you're happy spending time with Valora. But do keep the cuddling to private quarters, if you could.
That meant? EDA. I thought you were speaking of a personal console.
No. Public display of affection. It's the more common term in the military for it.
I've yet to receive my personal console back.
We're going to give it back to you shortly. I just have to wait for... Well, it's been a busy day, so I haven't been able to get it from security and from where it's being held. So I'll get it distributed to you shortly. Probably again tomorrow when we go to meditate.
Okay.
Hmm?
Nothing, sir.
Okay. You alright?
I'm fine. I need to find the chef.
Well, any luck, he'll be in the kitchen when we go to get something to eat. You know, you complain about ducking because of that sword. Your mane gets in the way a lot, too.
That's what I get for having flowing locks.
Oh, please. We both know you just never shave it off from winter.
Are you jealous, Captain? You should try it sometime.
Ugh. It's too much maintenance after winter.
Yes, but it makes you look large. And pretty.
I don't think I need any more of that. Well, it looks like the chef isn't here.
I need to use this moment of tenderness from me very wisely. I don't often feel like this. It's weird.
So you're saying we should let him starve you more often?
No. I prefer that not to be the case. Food aggression is very much real, and it affects me greatly.
Well.
I've already eaten for the day. It's fine.
Good. Then I'll save it for tomorrow because I'm probably not going to get anything to eat before then. Because that's just my luck. I wake up, and I go right here. I think people seem to forget how much energy I actually use.
Yes? Is that right?
But do you think that the psionics are all just flashy power for me? No, there's a cost to it. The cost is I have to eat 2 of these or I start withering.
Withering? Like a plant?
Quite literally. Honestly. You sure you're alright?
I'll be fine. I'm made of stronger stuff, Captain.
Aye. Don't need to try and convince me otherwise.
Speaking of, I was very much ready to, throw my gauntlet down.
With?
You were blowing a gasket with you, Captain.
With me?
Yes.
Why is that?
Sometimes the best way to get your frustrations out is to just have a good old-fashioned brawl. And you know I don't care wherever it happens. Because I understand it is beneficial.
Aye. But probably not in the middle of the flight deck.
Oh, that would have been so fun.
I'm not trying to break this ship any more than it already is.
That is the only setback, yes.
So from that point, training room only, or else I don't know what will happen, honestly.
They're going to yell at us.
I mean, they can certainly try at this point. you hear that?
Silence.
Exactly. I think I heard Gyptilus. But other than that, it's blissfully silent.
Yes, they're down there, talking. Don't want to wow.
Well, if any luck, people are going to the bar.
Ah.
You know, I'm actually interested.
In the barn?
No.
Ah.
Still can't believe that Palas yelled at me to get the fuck out of here last night.
What?
Oh yes, that's the whole reason. That's genuinely the final straw that broke the camel's back, was Palas shouting at me to get the fuck out of their lab.
Well, that I didn't know. Goodness.
Hey, that's the whole point of all of it. And that's why I've been a little harsher with them after my initial explosion.
Yes, I did notice that. It seemed a bit personal. Besides Vane, but I can already tell why.
No,
That
Vane's
would be the
really...
explanation.
Vane's dense. Really dense. I don't mean dense in a good way.
There's a good dent?
I mean... There is, you know, sturdy people dense. You don't back down from a fight type of dense. And then there's dense in... I don't back down from a fight I know is probably disadvantageous for me. That's more dense of the mind.
Oh. You could just call them stupid, Captain. You know you can.
See, but that's too obvious.
I will admit, I was quite surprised how many of the crew were surprisingly active when things started.
Captain?
At ease.
Yeah, you're used to.
We're in relaxation hours. No need to salute right now. Thank you, though.
Like I said, the only one I really saw to have a reaction that I expect usually in situations like this was Casper. He was huddled in the
I'm just thinking, but I don't think I want to bring it up right now. Considering it is, it'll probably get you all stressed and riled up again, so I'm going to wait.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
I'm surprised no one's here.
Is this where they usually congregate, or?
During rest hours. Or, well, the first hour off shift, I should say. Quite interesting. I am genuinely curious as to where they all are.
Well, Captain, I don't mean to be that Vlakan, but I think you might have scared them off. Retreated to the dens.
So be
it's
it.
Fine.
Like I said, I think a little bit of fear in this case is not such a bad thing.
Yes.
I keep forgetting that they really did not stock this well. The least that the EPA could do is give us something decent to drink when we're, putting up with all the bullshit that we do.
This happens. Well, wonder.
Wonder.
Can I come in here and look?
I mean, yes. I mean,
No, I was looking for the chef.
You too, huh?
you and I both.
Well, sorry that you couldn't find him, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Or me.
He's also not upstairs. We already looked there. And we came from
Yeah,
downstairs.
I looked from up and down. He's probably in his room.
Wouldn't surprise me at this point.
Terrain advances, one of those was one of my designs.
I know it's gonna be hard for me to get used to fighting somebody this close to me. This is not what I
So where should we look next for our vagrant crew?
I was going to. Well, it might be the case that they have returned to their little rooms. The chef. I don't know where the chef is.
Did anyone from security
went to
say they
bed
were signing
early.
off? Usually they do that before they leave.
No, they didn't. I assume Argyle and Gunch perhaps are having a talk.
Maybe.
We've seen Delan and Tashir.
True. Who else are we missing? Yeah, Mr. Science.
Well,
the new fellow. Burke.
Oh, yes, that's true.
Burke.
Yes, that one. He seems inoffensive, which is a great sign.
I mean, he's already showing more respect than anyone has day one.
We need that.
Yourself
We need more
included.
like him, I suppose. Well, you have to understand, Captain.
Sid, I'm messing with you. I'm just not going to let you live it down, because, it's funny to me now.
Well, I'm sorry for giving you the utmost respect, Captain. In other words, they don't, so.
You only gave it to me after I had to beat it into you.
Yes, that's how it should be, Captain. Have to establish the pecking order. Like I said, I don't usually get bested, so that's when I knew.
Hello,
Captain. How was your meditation?
Beneficial.
That's very good.
Have you seen Gunch around? Or the chef?
I have not, actually.
Interesting.
I was walking with him, and then he got pulled aside by medical. And then he moved quite quickly down the hall.
Interesting.
Not sure what he was moving towards, but...
Odd. Well, I'll keep my eyes open. Where is that? Just somewhere I never go.
You're still right. I'm always hot on your tail, Captain.
I see. You're following behind to get tidbits of wisdom along the way.
Let's not speak too much about that. Granted. Like we always say to each other, our talks are always enjoyable.
They are.
Keeps us sane.
You know, for a captain of a ship, I'm never up here or in this chair often enough.
You think so?
Think so? It's almost a guarantee at this point. I'm barely up here. I can count a total of... I can count on one hand how many times I've actually sat my ass in this thing.
It's been 3, as far as I'm aware.
Well, now 4. Oh, no, wait. No, it is 3, because I've sat there, over there, and down there multiple times. This is you're right, this is the 3rd. Take off, another initial...
Feel nice to sit on a throne, Captain.
Captain, as you sit here, now that you are sitting stable in your chair, you can kind of feel the ship swaying a little bit more than normal. It's still autopiloting, and it's clearly well, but you feel like a swaying to it. Not without direction, though.
Feels something's off. Like,
what is it? The assembly not good for you? What's going on?
Well, aside from the rage, I also do suffer from the other poor aspects of psionics, which is the whole, what is it? How do I phrase it?
Vertigo.
No, the fact that I can't sit still. So, what course were we left on?
Did you hear that?
Hear what?
Maybe it was just my ears.
As you look at the course that we are plotted on, again, still unfamiliar, uncharted airspace, and you can hear the tinging and clinking, and it's less so now that the ship seems to move with purpose, but it's still there. And as you look through your monitor, even though the screens for protection, the barriers are still down, through your monitor you can see outward into the beyond what we're flying through. There is a high variety distribution of space junk, debris, rocks, and that is seeming to be what's hitting the ship. Not enough to do damage, but you can see it. And much farther in the distance as you look here, you can see we are passing planetary bodies. And Sid, as you stand here too, you can see this as well. We're passing planetary bodies that, while they're distant enough away from us, they're in battle. they are in active combat with one another. You can see things beaming down to and off of these planets, even from a great distance. They're going through it.
Not exactly fond of that. Wonder why we're going through that. Just to be on the safe side, should probably raise kinetic barriers a little higher.
You wonder if you can get any identification on the ships, or is it too far away?
Honestly, it doesn't look like it's ships. Based on the debris field, I'd guess, honestly, asteroid artillery systems.
I see.
Or drones.
They are big ships.
I stand corrected.
Sorry.
They are ships.
It would appear so.
What can this thing enhance? Can it... Come on.
So, apparently we're now going through a active combat zone.
Just don't lie.
That was my expression too, internally. I
was asking the captain if we can get some identification for the ships, but I don't think we are close enough for that. So,
I mean, if we can see them and they're in range of scanners, we should be able to at least detect who they belong to, and if we can't identify that, then we know they're just an unidentifiable third party out here.
I assume we at least
Let's
have
try.
the UPA IDFs.
The IDFs? Please
Yes.
refresh me. It's been a long day.
The signal that the ship automatically sends out, that anyone who scans, if they have the right frequencies, they will immediately recognize this as UPA chip.
Correct, we do. That I know of. The AI, as much as I am not a fan of having one, does make sure that is broadcasted out in a controlled manner. I'm more focused on keeping up kinetic barriers to make sure that we aren't hit by any extra debris. Sid, I have a question for you.
Shoot.
Do you think the gods stay in the realms beyond because they too fear that which they have already created?
That is... this is why you're a wise man, Captain. I don't know.
Am I?
That is a very...
Am I really? I choose to stay here day after day.
Well, listen, we all are confined here in the coffin of metal. We have to make the best of it. We were sent on a job, whether, we volunteered or someone volunteered us, and here we are. So, we make do.
I'm just going to close that monitor so I don't have to keep looking at that. And maybe if I'm lucky, one of those projectiles will come soaring right through that window and nail me right between the eyes.
Careful what you ask for,
No.
Captain. You don't know what
that
the
would not
gods
be
have in
good.
hand.
I am...
I
Again.
assume Archer will be busy making sure we are to avoid any direct firings between other ships. Keep us from
I would say so.
One would hope. I trust
Activating
Archer's
anyone.
skills.
Yes, I trust her to do their job. Everything else, though.
I'll leave a note.
It might be bedtime for you, Captain.
I'm just flabbergasted at everything that's going on. Like,
you didn't stay on that couch for... Couch? Yes, that's a couch. You didn't stay on that small couch for long, did you?
what couch?
It's kind of... that one.
This
behind
one?
You.
The one I'm sitting in? Or the chair back there behind you?
Your throne, Captain, yes. Your throne is lost.
I literally sat there for less than a minute and I'm already...
A shame. What if I sat on it? Wouldn't that be funny?
By all means, it doesn't have any controls. That's why I like to be at one of the stations, because I actually like to be doing something. But that is the best place where I can give orders from, so... either there or here. I'm actually in Archer's chair right now.
Sorry.
Well, it was originally mine. But it has a better interface display.
What do you think, Delon? It went to look great.
My experience is on ground combat. I was not much on the fleet combat. Thus, I cannot give much on the experience side there.
You look like you're doing one of the northeastern province squats.
It comes natural.
Hmm?
Not really, I suppose.
I feel like everyone's having those.
No, not really a private talk. It's just... gazing at the bullshit of the day, reflecting on it.
Well, if this is going to be the situation, I think I will be going to at least take a nap, so that if something does happen, I'll be ready to jump up and get into action.
Not too smart.
Just in case, I will be taking my suit to my room, so that if something does happen, I will be immediately ready.
I'll probably be sleeping in my jumpsuit as well.
Just like the old days, huh?
Sure, we'll go with that. That's how it was back in the war. For me. Yes, definitely. That does not look comfortable by any means for you.
You wouldn't get it, Captain. It's got to spread it wide so everyone can see. Search yourself.
Hmm?
Hmm?
I don't understand.
It's fine.
There you are! You missed the bullshit of the day. You missed the brand new bullshit. I was actually coming to leave a note. There are colliders here.
Argyle. See, I told you they were talking.
Yes.
Yeah, but
We were
Argyle
just
wasn't
in
around
the
at the time.
security room. What's the situation? Delon made it sound quite urgent.
I'm gonna push that off. You guys are all good. Sorry. I was contacted by one of the other engineers. But no, apparently we're going through an active combat zone.
Exciting.
Pardon?
Between
the duality of yes. 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 We weren't able to get a
combat zone.
I would also like to know.
I do not. No.
In combat between whom?
I don't know. There are just two planets in the same system that are firing their guns at each other for some reason.
Unable to get identification.
I've moved
as
us.
of now, so
I've moved us on upper access to hopefully avoid the direct firing of the broadsides. I've raised connected barriers as high as I can.
Captain, I have a suggestion. You're not going to like it.
Please proceed.
Right. Well, if we're seen as an active vessel flying through a combat zone, we're probably going to be shot at. Is there any way that the engineering team could make us look like we're just a derelict ship floating through space?
Then we run the risk of someone trying to board us and salvage us. That's a counterpoint.
Better that than being hit by a missile.
Neither is particularly pleasant.
None of it's good.
Is it not possible to divert entirely? I'm sure it would cost us a couple extra days, but...
Even if we're not outputting radiation,
Does anyone else
it
have
would mean that we'd have to slow down.
the skills to pilot said vessel to a point where we can actually get back on a course correction?
Maybe that's for the pilot.
Right.
I do wonder where Archer is.
You're retired for that.
Interesting.
I see. Well then.
Shall we be shot at?
Do we want... I'm going to hold on, because I know. Now I could be wrong, and this could have been fixed, but if I'm remembering correctly, if I step here, no one can hear me scream.
Let's see if you're right.
Captain. No one can hear you scream.
Oh, fancy that. Wow.
I heard it a little bit.
Okay. I guess it's active combat zone then. Unless we have someone else that knows how to fly this thing. With the active
warp screams back.
Well, I suppose I'm not getting much sleep then. I can't exactly fly the thing, but I can operate its weapon systems.
We can at least keep shields up, that's the other thing.
And so long as we do not encounter other ships attacking us directly.
Like I said,
Let's just hope.
Perhaps someone from engineering.
I'll make sure to have the night crew up on it.
There was the new. What was their name?
Burke.
Not Burke.
It's science.
The new synthetic individual.
Sorry, I'm still trying to remember them.
They told me their name and I forgot.
The name is Chatty.
Chatty?
Chatty Stick, I think.
Chatty.
Something like that.
That sounds
yes.
about right.
Chatty.
Chatty.
Well, they had offered to be able to fly the fighter if we needed one. Perhaps their abilities extend to flying larger vessels.
Well, then
We
I'm
have
glad
another
for
pilot.
any assistance on that matter whatsoever. I would rather much not like going through a debris field of such a nature. Debris field, active combat zone, everything, all of it at once. Alternatively, we could garner as many psionics as we have and try and amplify the barrier for a bit, but that means we're up all night expending energy, and we don't have the energy to expend on such a thing. The ship doesn't have its runic scriptures engraved, so I can't channel effectively through it yet. I think I'm going insane.
Yes, Captain, I believe what you're proposing is that we're right fucked.
Right.
So, if you have gods, make peace with them now.
I don't think they want me to do that. I think they don't care what happens to me, Captain.
See, you're a Templar from the deity of war of our people. You would think that you'd have a little bit more faith in them protecting you from other idiots firing at each other.
Well, sure, I have faith in that, but, faith in the ship is,
So
not
keep
really
faith in the
high.
gods so that we don't have to keep faith in the ship. That's the point of having faith on someone else.
Regardless, here's what I suggest. We try to get some rest. For now.
Agreed.
Power nap. Hmm?
There's no telling when an alarm's gonna go off and we get struck by a missile.
Yes, let's
See
go
what you
ahead and,
got.
Is that night crew's problem?
No, it's everyone's problem if we
It'll
get
be-
hit. It's on all hands on deck as soon as we get hit with something combat related. If it were an asteroid or some other debris, then that's night cruise. I'm starting to lose my ability to speak.
Then I think
I
it's
hate
a good time for that power nap.
Agreed.
Yes.
Keep your radio.
I'm going to escort you back to your quarters, Captain. Make sure you don't get assassinated on the way there. Your reputation is at an all-time low today.
I have a
Almost as low as
reputation?
me, I'm impressed.
Our reputation's at an all-time low.
Life like this.
Well, I think it's more of my personal connections right now for everyone. I have you three and MU at least to keep me somewhat sane. You know, I initially was going to ask for, like, some of the bottles of mead from home, just as, like, something to have on stock. I thought it was too frivolous to waste resources and time to request that, but I'm starting to think that that is not the case anymore.
You might have spent your last chance on that.
I spent my last chats on trying to get reprimands on people. I don't know why the Admiralty just denied the court-martial. Literally, we just wait until we get back from assignment, and then it goes to discovery. They find out what happened, and then they decide whether or not it was what happened or not. Otherwise, because we're on
Can you
active
imagine-
duty, I can enact Articles 15, and I can just implement the punishment that they would have received from the court-martial regardless. No questions asked, and it's still within my right.
Please do go on, Captain.
I you.
You're not going to bed without taking that. What, you don't like gifts, Captain?
Come in real quick.
Oh, hold on.
This is from your hunt, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what is the purpose of this gift?
Just think of it as a peace offering.
As a peace offering, I'll accept. To anything further, given the time of year it is back home, I will need time to think on.
You are the wise man, aren't you?
I was grown up to be.
Well, I will leave it to you. Like I said, I'm a patient Larkin.
Hold on for it for a bit. We still have quite a few months left of the season.
Ugh. Yes, in the ship.
Oh. But you know, we're all... we could just die tomorrow, you know? It's just...
God forbid, huh?
Truly.
Good night, Captain.
Good night, Sid. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm just going to stay up in case I'm needed. I think that's what I'm going to do.